October 5th, 2025, the Pokrovsk front turned into a decisive arena. Ukraine's 425th Assault Regiment, Skala, launched an operation that left zero room for hesitation. 10 Russian soldiers, fully armed and dug in, were neutralized with surgical efficiency. The ground was uneven, the ruins unforgiving, yet Skala's precision left no space for error. Their drones skimmed low through dust and debris, each guided by operators who had memorized every trench and weak point. The strikes landed with chilling accuracy. None of the targeted troops managed to regroup or flee. This wasn't random destruction, it was orchestration, a calculated dismantling of an entire formation. The offensive that began as an advance ended in silence. What remained was burned earth and the distinct signature of Skala's doctrine: mastery through precision. For Ukraine, it wasn't just tactical victory, it was psychological warfare. A message carved into the battlefield: Pokrovsk is not open ground, it's a trap. Not long after, 2 Russian troops advanced across Ukrainian defensive positions. They dove for cover among shattered ruins, unaware they were already visible from above. Within seconds, a Ukrainian FPV drone traced their movements and delivered its strike with pinpoint control. Stay with us for continued updates from the front, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss any battlefield footage. A Russian soldier pedaling his bicycle across the front line was soon spotted by Ukrainian surveillance drones. Oblivious to the danger, he continued on his route until a drone from Ukraine's 414th UAV Brigade locked in and dove for attack. When he finally caught sight of the approaching threat, fear froze him in place. The impact followed moments later. A Ukrainian fiber-optic drone locked onto a stationary Russian military truck. Inside, a soldier struggled to open the door and run, but he hesitated just long enough for the drone to reach its mark. The detonation was exact, no chance for escape. Russian units now face relentless aerial pressure across all active sectors. Constantly hunted by drones they can't detect or jam, they are forced into defensive reactions. Fiber-optic models, FPV variants, and loitering munitions dominate the skies. Thousands operate monthly above Russian trenches, their persistent buzz turning into the sound of inevitability. Each flight is an act of patience and precision, each pilot an unseen force, deciding the outcome of firefights. Despite continued efforts, Russia's counter-drone defenses lag behind Ukraine's rapidly evolving tactics. Elsewhere, a fiber-optic FPV drone from Ukraine targeted an ammunition truck near the front line. It surged forward at top speed and struck directly, obliterating the vehicle. The assault continued as Signum Battalion operators tracked and destroyed multiple Russian supply convoys in the Lyman sector. Even with electronic jammers active, Ukraine's fiber-guided drones bypassed interference and hit their marks. In the Kansk direction, operators from Ukraine's Rubak Riders of the 112th Territorial Defense Brigade identified a lone Russian hiding beneath a ruined bridge. With no exit and seconds to spare, he remained trapped as the FPV drone descended. The strike was swift, no time for reaction. The feed ended in an instant flash. Valakika Novosilka witnessed similar scenes. Russian infantry crept through the ruins, careful yet exposed. Above them, the 214th Assault Battalion's drones hovered silently. Without warning, small munitions began dropping from the sky, each one deliberate, each impact surgical. Trenches and dugouts erupted in bursts of light. What looked like chaos was pure control. The drones observed, hovered, and struck with clinical timing. Meanwhile, to the Belgorod direction, Ukrainian ballista special forces of the Novan Group executed a deep strike raid. Moving far behind enemy lines, they pinpointed a logistics hub packed with trucks, crates, and refueling equipment. The first explosions came without warning. Within seconds, supply convoys turned to fireballs, communication links collapsed, fuel depots burned out. What once fed the front line became nothing more than twisted metal and smoke, a graveyard of steel where a lifeline used to be. In the embattled Lyman direction, Russian artillery pounded Ukrainian lines. Confident and entrenched, they didn't realize Signum Battalion had already plotted every coordinate. Rather than return fire blindly, Ukrainian operators used networked FPV targeting. One by one, Russian guns fell silent, barrels bent, positions empty. The battlefield shifted, not through volume of fire, but through quiet precision. One Russian sentry, unaware of being observed, became the next target of a precision FPV hit. In the Kharan region, another Russian soldier tried to hide inside a deserted building. Realizing too late that a drone was circling above, he stepped outside cautiously, but the weapon had already locked on. Elsewhere, 3 Russian tanks fell prey to FP-5 drone strikes conducted by operators from the Signum Battalion of the 53rd Separate Mechanized Brigade, named after Prince Volodymyr Monomakh. The operation unfolded in dense woodland where dust and foliage obscured vision. One tank accelerated, churning up clouds to mask its trail, but the drone pilot maintained steady pursuit and slammed into the engine bay. Another tank, camouflaged under branches, betrayed its position when its barrel shifted. The drone exploited that moment to hit dead center. The coordination between Signum and aerial scouts from the 63rd Brigade was seamless. They destroyed each armored vehicle in turn. A final maneuver pierced through an opening in the cover, sealing the strike. 3 tanks, once symbols of strength, ended as smoldering hulks. The footage went public soon after, underscoring how Ukrainian UAV warfare had evolved into an art of precision.